Pilates promotes the importance of posture, breathing control and efficient body movement. Exercises are devised to improve strength, flexibility and balance. This aims to improve movement patterns which will enhance activities of everyday life. Right, so we're going to start by looking at the 5 key elements of Pilates. We're going to start with foot posture firstly. So I'm going to ask Emma to transfer her weight forwards through her toes and back through her heels. So she's getting a feel for the floor beneath her feet. And she's going to try and settle at a midpoint, so that means even weight beneath a big toe, a little toe and a heel. She's going to gently lift up the arches on the inside of her feet, or imagine there's a little fountain of water squirting up. So she's going to keep that there if she can. She's going to keep her knees soft so that they're not locked back. So we're next going to look at the central alignment or trunk alignment. So we're going to look at the position of the pelvis, which affects the position of your lumbar spine. And then we're going to move on to switching on the abdominal muscles, which help to support the spine, which we refer to as centering. So to position the pelvis, you can find the knobbly bits at the front of your pelvis, the bony bits. Imagine there's a headlamp on each of the bony bits, and you're going to tilt your pelvis forwards and backwards. So headlamps are shining down towards the floor, and then up towards the ceiling. And then Emma's going to aim to find a midpoint position, so that the headlamps are shining directly forwards. This allows the spine to be in a better position and maintain your natural curve in the bottom of your back. Okay, so she's going to try to maintain that position, and we're going to look next at centering. So we're switching on the abdominal muscles that help to support the spine. So we can imagine that she has a low slung belt around her hips. She's going to gently tighten that belt to the 5th notch by drawing her belly button gently in towards the spine. When she's got it to the 5th notch, she's going to release it to the 3rd notch, just to ensure she's not bracing her abdominal muscles. So we're going to try to keep that in that position whilst breathing normally. So again, trying not to hold the breath. Next, we're going to look at the rib position and breathing. It's important to note throughout the class that throughout the exercises, that if you get confused with the breathing, just breathe in your normal pattern, i.e. don't hold your breath. So if we see Emma breathing in and out, we can see that her ribs or her hands are moving out as she breathes in and then come together as she breathes out. Okay, so we're thinking about expanding the ribs as you breathe in, or imagining like an umbrella would open. So we're filling the bases of the lungs. So we're next going to look at shoulder position. So if you think of the shoulder blades, they sit on the back like this, or they should sit on the back like this. Okay, so I'm going to ask Emma to just raise her arms up to chest level. Okay, and she's going to draw her shoulders up around her ears. And as she does that, you can see that my hands turn out to each side, and then as she takes it down, they draw together. Okay, so you can imagine them a little bit like a pair of wings opening and closing. Okay. So she's going to draw her shoulders up around her ears and then slide them down, and she's going to try to keep the shoulders away from the ears. Then she's next going to reach her fingertips towards the opposite side of the room, and again as she does that movement, the shoulder blades draw apart again, she's opening those wings, and then as she draws them together again, they close. Okay, so we're opening and closing. And then she's going to aim again for a midpoint position, so shoulder blades are sat nicely on the back. She's going to float her arms back down again, and you can just think about or imagine you gently tucking your shoulder blades into the back pockets of your jeans. Okay, so they're going to stay nicely positioned on the back. So we're next going to look at head and neck position. So if we firstly think about the position around our chest, so you can imagine that there's a torchlight on your sternum here or on your breastbone, and we're going to lift that torch so it's shining directly forwards instead of shining down towards the floor. We're also going to think about lengthening and opening up through the collarbones. Okay. So next, the head and the neck, you can imagine the head like the top drawer of a filing cabinet. As Emma pokes her chin forwards, we're going to open that drawer, and as she tucks the chin in, we're closing the drawer. So we're going to move through those 2 positions. Okay. And then we're going to aim to keep the drawer closed so that the head's sat nicely on top of the spine. So we're improving that alignment, and then the head becomes like a helium balloon floating up towards the ceiling, so we're lengthening up through the back of the neck. So each of the exercises are going to be split into 3 working zones. So we're going to consider the first zone as the lower zone, and that refers to anything below the hip. The central zone refers to the trunk, so that's between the hips and the shoulders. And the upper zone, we're going to include the shoulders, the head and the neck.